Hey teacups, welcome to another live episode of Tea with Teash podcast. I'm your host Teash, and today is actually the first live tea talk of 2026. What about it? I'm excited. I hope you guys are. Today I have my friend, fashion designer, stylist, Delo Styles, and we can ready to get into a whole lot about his fashion journey, his pieces, what he can do, what he's gonna do, what he will be doing, and what he's doing right now. So once I see him on the screen, we'll go ahead and get you plugged in. I hope you have your tea together because I do. Per usual. So, how has your new year started off? I hope it has been amazing. Now, it's pretty slow-mo right now, but that's what we like. We like slow motion other than no motion. So, just make sure that you have your goals jotted down and that you are ready to implement, baby. Because that's what we on. And so, once I see him, then we can bring him on in. Now today, I felt like not wearing my glasses because I was like, you know what? We're going to test out and see if you can see today. But if not, I have no issue putting my glasses on in the middle of a good old tea talk, honey. Because if you can't read, you can't read. You know what I'm saying? What's in your cup today? I have lemon, honey, spice. And I actually like this tea in particular because it gives me a little bit of zest. And I also feel real, I don't know, real warm and tingly, I guess. Everybody get in, get in, get in. You are not going to want to miss this tea talk. You are not going to want to miss it. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Delo Styles because I see him on the screen, honey. We get ready to clock down, get you involved. Child, now
What's up?
what's going on? So I was telling people, I said, let me give y'all a little bit of throwdown real quick, so
Like
we
for
can ready
real.
to enter. We can ready to enter the fashion world of Delo Styles.
Real fast.
You know what I'm saying? So we had to get them together on this early Sunday because what better way to open up a good Sunday with a little bit of church and a little bit of tea?
And you know it.
Okay, so let me give the people a little bit of breakdown. So again, everybody, this is the newest teacup to the tea collection, Delo Styles, baby clock. Let me give you a little bit of rundown on this portfolio and accolades. Okay, make sure you listen in. Second year in a row, showcasing for Culture House, Omaha, clock, nominated to be featured in Style Icon magazine and to sit for a role at Versace Fashion Week 2026. That's enough alone. Did it blow your hair off? Because I think mine is still intact just a little bit. And then we got fashions worn at Shutterfest and STL, two-time fashion icon winner. And we have River Region Fashion Designer of the Year. What about it? What y'all want?
What y'all want? What else can I get?
That's all I'm saying. What do they want from you? How you doing, my dear?
I am blessed beyond measure. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just getting myself situated for this good old Sunday because I already knew what time it was and I made sure my tea was hot because of course that's the only way we give it up around here.
Period. Type it.
Okay, so let's get into it, baby. So you started in radio. Why the shift? Now I know that your fashion love has been all about it all your life. But for you to take fashion and say, you know what, let me just jump full throttle and put the radio down. What's going on?
You know what? I needed to come from behind the desk and be
Mm-hmm.
seen. No.
Okay.
No, you know what? When I did radio, while I was doing radio, I was also styling.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is, I was going to this church, and my pastor, she needed to be styled, so she liked the way I dressed, and she
Uh-huh.
was like, woo, woo, woo. And I was
Yeah.
like, I sure can, and that was it.
Okay. Well, we glad to have you because the streets need you, baby. So we glad that you're here. Hope you got your little knapsack, honey, because you're gonna have to take plenty of naps, get your little nourishment, and
Okay.
come on back to the flow.
Yeah.
So, how long have you been a designer? Now, I know you started as a stylist, but we're
Yeah.
rolling into the season of nothing but designer, honey. So, when did
Okay.
that start for you?
I would say since 2020.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's when my brand was fully birthed, Delo Styles, since 2020. I've been styling for years before that.
Mm-hmm.
But for real, stylist designer 2020.
All right, so we got 6 years, honey. So
Yeah.
now we're full throttle, we're full bloom, and we ready to really push this thing off and get the folks together before you can get ready to sew, steam, cook, and clean. Cause I do know that you sew. Do y'all know that he sew? Cause
I
he
do
does.
so, for sure.
Cold at it. If y'all look at that piece behind y'all, now this is handcrafted. Understand
This
that?
is. That's right.
So from the measurement on down, and I'm trying to see if I can jump in it tonight.
I think I can get you in this.
Okay,
We
see.
have to make it work.
Yes, essentially. So, what was the moment that you realized that you were a gag-worthy enhancement to the industry of fashion? Because I'm gonna say something to you. I have seen you get down. I have seen your pieces. I've seen the people out there, grinning and purring and doing all these different things. So, when did you know? You know what? I'm what they need.
You know, the truth is, I have a muse, Haley Marie. And when I started styling her and she just started popping off and people started really liking the looks that I put on her, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that I had something right there. Yes.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
I love it because anytime we can get an entry to the high level, then we want to take that and keep running to it. So it sounds like that was your moment where you said, you know what, I got what it takes, and the people need me, and I'm gonna be
And the people
available.
need me. Yes. And you know what? When I went to Kansas City Fashion Week for like the first time, and I was just in the building. I didn't
Hmm.
show a collection, but just being in the building and networking and moving around, and people were just wanting more of me and inviting me to different places and spaces and inviting me to style them. I was like, I got something good here.
Okay.
I'm on it. Yeah.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
don't know how many stylists or designers do this, but what if you're out and about and somebody has some form of a snafu where they have a hole somewhere or rip somewhere? Do you keep your kit with you, which is also a good way to promote your business?
That's because you know me so well, Fred. I don't leave out the house without a needle and thread in my pocket. And
Okay.
that's just how I move because people put on clothes with holes in them. But
Yeah.
sometimes things happen. You know, you back it up and dump it, and it'll little rip. You know, or you reach or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I'm out and people see me, they'll pull me to the side. Women do this all the time. Pull me in the women's bathroom, and I'm in there sewing something
Yeah.
up, lifting a bra strap. I'm adjusting and making things happen. So yes, if you see me and you need something done real quick, woo woo woo,
Yeah.
pull on me.
And that's probably one of the things that a lot of professionals are lacking is preparedness because you don't think nothing of it. You're just out enjoying your night. You're off the clock. You
That's
don't
right.
think, let me keep my kit together just in case somebody needs something. And then that's also a way for me to promote my business. So I'm glad that
Absolutely.
you do that because that's smart.
Well, you have to stay ready, right?
Yeah,
If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And
absolutely.
like you said, that's a way to promote my business. Right there, I have made a little extra a tip.
Mm,
Right there, I have gained a client. You
yeah,
know, and I have I'm just ready. I'm just ready.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, so we done gained a little bit of chewing gum money on a Saturday night when you was just out with the
Period.
girls and the guys, and
Period.
ain't nothing wrong with that. So,
Period.
if you could name your style, what would you name your style? What do you call Delo Styles? Is it more of an experience? What are we doing?
You know, I always say this: the Delo Styles is a 360 experience. So just working with me, right? Because it's not just me putting clothes on a client, but I'm building the client up from the inside, motivating them, encouraging them to let them know that you got it. I promise
Yeah,
you, you can walk out here, you can slay whatever runway it is, whether it's a sidewalk to the penthouse.
yeah,
You got it, you got it. So yeah, my style, although I'm luxury streetwear,
yeah,
I'm definitely classic man style. So you know, I try to bring out the beauty in every woman, man, boy, girl, it,
yeah.
them, all of the above.
Okay, so you're very well diverse and well rounded, which we love. We need that
Yes.
because there's not too many people that are able to do it all. They're all one level, one trick pony. So it sounds like you really got it all figured out.
Well, you have to be multifaceted in this world
Hmm.
of styling and in the industry of styling because you never know who you're going to work with. You never know who you're going to come in contact with.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that I like to make sure that I am personable to everyone and welcoming to everyone. No
Yeah.
matter race, creed, color, that doesn't matter, or gender doesn't matter to me. I'm here to do my job and to do it in
Okay.
a spirit of excellence.
Okay. So describe icon in one word. And I know this is one of those words where you can never find enough. Okay. So for you, what comes to your mind when you think of icon?
Icon to me means someone who has been consistent, someone who is a trendsetter,
Yeah.
someone who is inspiring, someone who is motivated. Um, an icon, my work can speak for me, whether I'm there or
Yeah.
not. You know,
Yeah.
you may not see my face, but if you see my logo, you know exactly who it's attached to. That's an icon. An icon walks in the room and sometimes shifts the energy for the better.
Ooh.
You know, an icon, you're expecting them. You know, there's anticipation. So yeah. And let me say this: I didn't give myself the title icon. It is something that has to be bestowed on you. People
Yep.
have to see that work ethic in you. And I am a two-time icon stylist, so that part.
Because, like you said, ain't no games being played over here, honey. We
No,
are out here doing it, and it's not for play. We trying to get this coinage, and we're trying to make sure that the girls are out here in the world ready for whatever. So, yeah, you heard what he said,
right.
didn't you?
That's right.
So, what's your biggest inspiration to keep going in the moments where you lack creativity? Because we all know the downtime is a real thing. Times where you really don't feel your best, times where you have literally run out of ideas in that split second. What do you do to get you back up and rise to the occasion just in case?
Well, I definitely try to sit in stillness and have prayer and meditation because when I'm not inspired, and I say this, but the downtime used to make me think I wasn't being productive
Uh huh.
or like I was lacking or what is wrong with me. People don't want me right now. But
Yeah.
that's not it. You have to be recharged, you know,
Mm hmm.
and inspired because you need a new play. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You can't keep running the same old tricks and ponies. You need to have something new. So in my downtime or when I'm feeling like I'm not inspired, I watch a lot of fashion shows. I
Mm.
tune into like the Project Runways, you know, past, present. I watch a lot of YouTube fashion show, runway shows for the next season coming up. And I let that download on me. I also grab my crayons and my coloring book and I start to color. I start to journal and write. And the truth is, I get my needle and thread and I'll just grab a piece of fabric and I just start sewing something or I deconstruct something and put it back together. That will also help me. Now, sometimes I just can't find it because I had a
Right.
season I just couldn't find it. Lord,
Yeah.
oh, Jesus. What's going
Baby,
on?
that's an art.
Where
Do
is
you
it?
realize that? You have an art. That's
Yes,
a craft beyond measure. Like you said, to deconstruct something and put it back together. Not
yes,
too many people know how to sew. And
yes,
for you to say, you know what, I'm getting ready to do this, and it's done. Not saying that you don't have errors and things like that, but your eye is definite. And that piece behind you, that is
yes.
nothing to take lightly. Everybody can't do that, honey.
Now, and this was all done by hand. So this is one of the first pieces I did too, all by hand. And I love a sewing machine, but me and my hand, we'll get to work on something. You know, a little bit more time consuming, but that's okay. There's an art and it's methodical, and then I get to see what the work of my hands have done for real. You know,
Yes. Oh
yeah,
my God. So, in the avenue of being a designer and things like that, being able to get these pieces together and dream up something and make it so, um, what would you say that your strength is when it comes to weddings and things like that? Because folks love a good old gala situation, a good
yeah,
old
yeah,
updo grand rising. So would you
yeah.
say that you are just impeccable? Because like I said, a lot of people cannot do it. A lot of people cannot pull it off. But your eye, I could see very much that you can.
You know, a blessing and a curse is I really have an eye that's attention to detail.
Mm.
It's the little things for me that it's the little things that's gonna build the big picture, right?
Hello,
But
hello.
it's the way you snatch a client. It's the way you boost a client's bosoms. It's the way, you know, you put the stocking and the jewelry and the right earring, and does it match the hair and the makeup, and it's just the little details that make the big picture. And especially with a wedding. Now, I love a good wedding, and I have 5 weddings under my belt, and on my fifth one, attention to detail matters because what does the big picture look like? I always think that when I deal with a client, when they look back at their pictures, will they be satisfied with what they see?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. So, what stylist or designer do you have on your wish list to work with in any capacity? Because we all got somebody that we wish we could work with, honey. So, who would be yours?
I would love to work with a Law Roach.
Okay.
He's definitely a stylist that I have. Also from Chicago. Shout out to Chi-Town. Shout out to the Chicago Bears. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Uh,
No shade from Kansas City. No, we love it.
but yeah, Law Roach, just watching his trajectory and watching how he put his arms around Zendaya and
Yeah.
baby, she became his muse. I took on some of those traits with my muse, Haley Marie. And you'll see her on my Instagram and some stuff a lot of things that I've done with her.
Okay.
Became somebody that I've learned and I've studied her.
Okay.
And I would love to work with him because I know that he has the tools, the connections, and he can really break it down to me. When you get in that with those A-list clients, what is it?
Uh-huh.
And we all have to study somebody.
Absolutely.
If you want to be good in the game, you have to study somebody. Now, I'm not trying to be like him or mimic him, but
Yeah.
I study him and I apply what I see that fits best for my brand and how I
Yeah.
work with it.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Like you said, all of us are studying somebody or researching something or
Yes.
trying to figure out which avenue does what. And it's okay. It's good for your brand because that lets
Yeah.
you know that you're elevating, you are stepping outside the box, you
Yeah.
are able to commit to different things. You don't want to be in just one lane. So it's okay if you need a little bit of
Man,
help or just want to see what somebody else is doing because that's what it's going to take sometimes.
listen, we all need
Um,
help along the way. But
Absolutely,
one
for
thing I
sure.
learned, okay, yes, I want to grow my brand, but at
Yeah.
some point I have had to ask for help. Now, be careful who you ask for help from, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't ask everybody for help because people will run and tell that they helped you. I
Yeah.
did.
And you got to monitor how many times you ask for help, too. It's a sad
That,
thing, but it's true.
that's right. But we all need monetary help. You need help from clients to
Yeah.
put your name out and to promote you. You're going to need help along the way.
Yeah.
It takes a team now. It takes some time getting a team,
Yeah.
but along the way, there's a little bit of pockets of help and joy, that we need.
Absolutely. So, what fears would you say you've encountered or that come into a situation with here and there as your career has been on the rise? Because you are human at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I mean, fears. Um, you know, will I make it? Will I make it? Am I on the right track?
Hmm.
Um, sometimes I wonder, or I have had fears in the past. I've dealt with these now, but is my work in vain?
Mm.
Am I being used or misused? Because in the industry, fashion and styling overall, sometimes you can be taken for granted. And I have style clients, and you got to be prepared for your name not to be mentioned.
Mm.
Because when I'm hired by a client, they hire me to make them look good, not to promote my name. So you
Yeah.
have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's just one of the fears I have. Am I doing enough to be seen and to make it? And
Mm.
you know, is it all in vain or is it not?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then you have moments like this where somebody sees you and they make you a part of their tea collection. And you read my bio and I remember the work that I've done in the past and it's not been in vain.
Absolutely not. I love that you said that though, because my fears are becoming stagnant. I don't keep up with the trends. I don't follow the time, but my conversation, is it stimulating enough? Is it going to always hit to where people are like, you know what? I like what you said. I love that episode. I was just thinking that. I feel like that. I felt like that. How did you get over? So I always want to make sure that what my experiences are is being felt and that I can connect with somebody. Now, I will honestly say what you mentioned, if your name is going to be mentioned. I never expect for my name to be mentioned, and I shout out and salute a lot of people, whether I know you or not. But if I see that you are working your ass off, I'm gonna make sure to tell somebody about it. Whether you have 20 followers, 357, I still want you on my show because I see something in you. Do I expect for people to say, "Oh my God, Teash had me on her show and she highlighted this, that, and the third about my business, and this is why I'm getting clients or customers or whatever"? I don't expect it, but it feels nice,
It does feel nice,
but
but you can't, who doesn't want their name called and
yeah,
be
yeah,
raised? But I also look at this as, although this is my business and this is my passion and my purpose, this is service for me. This
yes,
is service work. So what's done in the dark will come to the light. That
yeah,
also works in a positive way as well.
absolutely.
You can do things for people behind the scene, and God will promote you and reward you openly in due time. You just got to be consistent with it. Just keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. Yeah, it might not all add up in your bank account. You
Yeah,
know, don't be no fool out here now. But there will be opportunities that you won't get paid for. You just have to take the opportunity. And then it'll all pay off after a while. That's one thing I know for sure.
absolutely. And I feel like when you are starting a business, this is for those that are starting up. And even those that have been on the scene, whatever you're doing, sometimes it's okay to do things for free just to build that rapport. I'm not saying do it all the time now, but just to build that rapport and become personable. And what I want people to stop doing is not having a contract in place. But what I really want you to stop doing
Mm.
is, if you are not truly confident in your art, not saying that you don't know what you're doing, but if you don't have enough zhuzh at that time, stop overcharging folks for zhuzh activity when you're not there yet, because they're going to expect that. And if you don't perform, child, the streets is going to eat you up and spit you out. Do you understand
So
that? Because
true.
I have seen it happen where people are like, you know what? I want $580. And then
Uh,
you give them your product, and it's merely not even the quite connect of 200. The people, baby, because folks work. So if you ain't ready for prime time, it's okay to take that slow leap. But
you gotta take it slowly. Don't jump out to there too fast and
yeah,
over promise someone. In,
yes,
in my 6 year career, I can honestly say that I have not successfully got what a client needed twice.
yes.
And it's been lessons. It's devastating when I can't come through. But something
Mm,
like that, I have made the mistake of over promising and I couldn't deliver. Lesson learned. You don't do that. Stay in your lane and don't overcharge people. Now, I did a lot of free stuff when I first started.
yeah.
I was trying to put my name out there and trying to show people what I could do. Once I got past that point, I did a lot of fashion shows in the beginning, all over here, there, and all over the cities, because you got to soar into the universe and put the work in.
Uh-huh.
But at some point, when I made more, I can offer more quality, and then I can charge more. But I
Mm,
also have my ducks in a row. I can
mm-hmm.
give a full experience, you know. And
Okay.
just don't have it, just back up. Just back
Mm-hmm.
up. This is what I can do right now. I can't charge you $500 if I can't produce experience worth that amount. You know.
Okay.
Trust
Well,
me,
I'm
when I first
glad.
started, I was $100, $100, $100,
Yes.
$100, $100, because that's at the time that I thought my worth value was.
Mm-hmm.
It was my clients that started to tell me, no, I'm gonna pay you more, charge
Mm.
me more, and then I knew from there that, okay, all right, my level, my quality, my value has went up, and there's
Yes.
levels to it. Yes, there's just levels to it.
It is. And I wanted to highlight that. I wanted you to speak on that for all the designers and the stylists in the back that may watch this interview. I wanted them to know that there are misconceptions. You don't get it right always the first time. People are human, and you can accept and understand, okay, I shouldn't overcharge them. I just like for people to understand that, like you said, there are levels to everything. So I wanted to be clear and just put that out there on wax that there are levels, and
There are levels.
whatever you feel about yourself, it's not that you're not worth it, but when you aren't ready to perform to that highest degree,
That's
you
right.
can't
That's right.
charge.
That's
You
right.
can't do them like that.
Don't overcharge people. Now there's levels to it, right? Anything
Yeah.
with is going to be more expensive because there's more time, there's more effort. You have to put on those black gloves and finesse. And when
Mm.
I say that, that means I'm offering such a high quality of experience in my time that it is worth it. Anything gala is going to be charge a little bit more because more fabric, more
Uh-huh.
time, more effort. When you
Yeah.
come down to like just regular day-to-day events, then come down to your normal regular prices. Be reasonable. Think
Mm-hmm.
about the times that we're living in. You have to know your clientele.
Yeah.
You have to know your clientele. Don't come over here charging me 250 and you know that I'm not that type of client. I can take something off Gene and make it look like it came out of Dillard's.
Okay. Because,
Okay?
the girls be all up and through that app.
Period. But
All right.
it's a lesson learned, it's experience. The consistency in your experience makes your value go up.
Huh, you better tell them, because did y'all hear what they said? Okay, they heard you. So, what is your creative process when preparing and prepping to style a client? Because we all got to get into our bag before we execute whatever move we're gonna make. Like, I have a whole BTS situation that I just posted, how I get prepared for my tea talks and things like that. So, what is your process? What does that consist of?
I should have been doing BTS about how I was running around trying to find the right spot to do this podcast because I was running like crazy. What you don't see is I
Right.
got a whole string of Christmas lights down the hallway trying to make sure this ring light works.
Yes.
There is a process, right? Um, from top to bottom, I'm gonna make sure that my mind, body, and soul is in the right space because I want to make sure that I'm exuding the oil of joy. I don't want to, I never touch a client physically, mentally, and I've had a bad day. So you
Yeah.
want to make sure that you're centered because energy is transferable. Also, you have to know that as a stylist designer, your client might dump their energy on you, so you have to know how to hold it,
Mm.
don't take it in. But we
Yes.
are therapists and we do take a lot of intake, so you have to
Yeah.
know that. Also, I'm going to have a conversation with the client. We're going to have several conversations because I need to know their train of thought and what they want. How do they want to present that day? I don't want to. If a client comes to me, they don't want to look like they dress themselves, right?
Right, right.
But you have to have that conversation. A lot of stylists I know force their way onto a client, or designers
Mm.
force it on a client. Wear this because I think this looks good on you.
Yeah.
Doesn't always fly. Have the conversation. Then I'm going to study the client. I'm going to go back and look at their past, what they have worn in the past, because I don't want to hit the same color patterns. I
Yes.
don't want to pull the same silhouettes. One of the things I learned in the beginning was I pulled a dress for a client, and then I went in her closet, and she had a whole bunch of dresses like this. But
Mm.
I studied the client. So you have to do your homework with the client, and that takes some time. And then you have to just see what a client likes and doesn't like. I tell my clients, send me everything you've been thinking of. A lot of us have insomnia, right? So we be up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning looking
Absolutely. I
at
know I do.
and I tell my clients, I don't care what time it is, send me everything you've been thinking about. That way I can build a mood board, I can build a vision and see where we want to go with this.
Okay.
And I'm also going to send my clients some stuff that I know is not what they were thinking of at all. Because I want to hear my clients' no's. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me. That's really not my vibe. That way I know what is nearby. Also, I study the trend. I study the territory and the land that I'm in. That way I know what to keep my client fashion forward. Also, to keep my client above what I know
Mhm.
everybody else is going to have on in that land, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
always be above anything and everything. I'm going to grab
Yes.
that crayon and that coloring book.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you make sure that you get it all together because a lot of people probably don't prep the same. You know what I'm saying? You have to do what works for you, but you also want to do what works for the individual that you're styling. So I like that you take good time, which what would be your allotted timeline to prep for a client?
Okay, I've had a client call me a couple days before and say, hey,
Okay.
something. Um, there is no prep time. You can call me the day before and I'm gonna make it work.
Woo.
Cause I've learned to be just that good and be ready like that. I've
Hmm.
also learned to have my own closet of garments in case I have to pull something out of what I have to make it work.
Okay.
But I prefer if a client gives me at least 2 weeks minimum. I don't
Okay.
need a whole lot of time
Okay.
unless it is something that we're doing on a larger scale. Now, a wedding, I live with my client 365 days.
Okay.
They're living in my brain. I'm waking up and I'm thinking about them because weddings are so detailed and it's such a sacred moment, and there's a lot of processes to that. That's a whole nother podcast.
It sure
Uh,
is, honey.
but because you have to deal with people emotionally and all of that other stuff too. But if a client gives me 2 weeks, I'm gonna hit a home run. If a client gives me a month, oh, I can stretch out. Yeah. Uh,
I'm excited.
it just depends on how extravagant we want to go.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So if you had to start over, what would you have done differently, being as when you started, you didn't know everything that you know now?
Man, if I had to start over, I wouldn't. But um, I would have better contracts in place.
Yeah.
I would have when I first got into the game, and this was a big lesson. I didn't charge enough.
Mm.
And when I didn't charge enough, I had to put my own money into it to make it come out right. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of my own money.
Yeah.
Clients saying, "Hey, just pay me $100," but really the outfit was $250. So the rest
Right.
of it is me investing into a client, and I'm not making that back.
Yeah.
So I actually would have sat down and got me a price list together, and I would have got contracts together because I was moving just off of word of mouth in the beginning. And although
Uh-huh.
that was good, having that I agree, it came back and bit me a lot of times, you know. Because sometimes clients didn't like what I pulled, and you had to send stuff back and all that stuff, and then
Uh-huh.
out there, but that's all coming out of my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I would sit down and do money management with my business.
Mm.
And I would say, hey, in this month, this is what I have for my business, and I'm gonna work within this scale because I lost track of a lot of money that I spent out. And
Mm.
it's just learning lessons. Also,
Yeah.
if I could do it all over again, I would have asked for help sooner.
Okay.
I
Okay.
I just would have asked. I would have had an assistant sooner. I'll say that
Okay.
because I was everything, trying to do everything, answer calls, be here and be there, and I need a little bit of assistance, and I didn't have that. And although it didn't slow me down, it was just
But I'm sure it wore you out though.
it wore me out. Baby,
Yes. Hmm.
I would be worn out. Do you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So how important is it to you to quiet the noise as you progress? Because a lot of times you can have a lot of people in your ear, or you can have too much of an eye on what other people are doing, how they're moving, things like that. I don't, but whatever. Um, how do you quiet the noise? Do you not look at social media often? Do you not engage in certain conversations? What do you do to quiet everything going on around you that really doesn't benefit your progress?
Well, for sure, I watch the conversation I have with people
Yeah.
because I don't want my good to be evil spoken of. So I watch that, and I watch what I speak out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'm not one to look at social media in comparisons.
Uh-huh.
I don't typically look at what other stylists have done or put out, or there is no comparison because I can only do what I can do, right?
Right.
And that helps quiet the noise. But I study, and I sharpen my tools. And when I'm sharpening my tools and doing the work, I'm busy. My mind is busy, so I can't hear what's going on outside. I'm busy in this bubble, making sure that
Right.
when I'm called on, I'm ready. You know, and people always gonna have something to say.
All the time.
You just gotta know that.
True, false, or indifferent.
People gonna have some, either they gonna like you, they not, either they for you or they against you. They for you.
Absolutely.
People always gonna have something to say, so you can't even feed into that. I just try to stay in my lane. I don't try. I stay in my lane.
Absolutely.
I don't cross over there. I don't try to do too much. I don't try to offer my assistance where I really
Mm-hmm.
don't want to, you know. And I just keep in my bubble. My bubble is tight. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? I do have other friends who are a lot of my friends from Chicago are stylists and designers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And because we didn't have the same start, we don't have the same finish point.
Absolutely.
And so that helps me quiet the noise. And I also sit in stillness. I sit in stillness. I stay connected to the Lord. You know,
Uh-huh.
I
Which is
keep
good.
myself spiritually balanced,
Uh-huh.
and I work. when you busy,
Okay.
when you are found busy working, you really don't have time to hear the noise. You know,
Mm-hmm.
now people, of course, they gonna call and woo woo woo, and I'm a really,
Yeah.
you
But we
know,
shuts it off. We shuts it down.
you just gotta shut it down. You gotta shut it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just want to throw something in there real quick. Could be related, may not. Don't tell everybody every plan that you have before it is done because people pray against it. People, now listen, let's be honest. You may not think you have enemies. You ain't done nothing to nobody, but there are people out there that are praying against what you're doing, what you're trying to do. Everybody ain't rooting for you. You're not everybody. You're not the people's champ for
That,
everybody.
that,
So you got to quiet that for sure. Close your mouth, mind your business, drink your water, replenish your skin, and get your bang together if you ain't got nothing else to do. But make sure that you stay spiritually aligned and close your mouth. Don't tell everybody. Don't post everything, especially before it is done. Because people may not want to see you work with certain people.
and
They
people
may
will block.
not want you to elevate because they're not elevating. You got to be careful.
Listen, that's another lesson I learned, and I learned that the hard way. And these are real life lessons for real. And if you don't take anything else, please pick up the tools so that I believe you can learn lessons through other people's mistakes, right?
Yes.
I used to prematurely post.
Mm.
Not that it didn't happen, but what I seen was by the time I got around the corner, it was people there that shouldn't have been there that had privy to information that they wouldn't have had because I gave too much information.
Mm-hmm.
It was people blocking, cock blocking.
Yeah.
It was people hating because they didn't have the same opportunity and advancement. So I
Yeah.
learned to tuck it. There's an art to tucking, and that means keeping your mouth closed until it's time. You know,
Yes.
when it's time, it'll be time. You know, I used to do this. I used to post where I am in real time. Now I don't. By the
Okay.
time
You definitely got to be careful with that now.
I've been there, done it, and it's over. You know, because people will pour salt on you, on what you have going.
Mm.
Just hold it. Just do the work. And when it's time, it'll pop off. It's going to have the same effect whether you post, whether people know that it's about to happen or it
Uh-huh.
already happened. It's going to have a bigger effect because it already happened. You can show this is what I've done at the finish line. And please, please, please be careful who you share your dreams with.
Mm.
You cannot dream with everyone out loud. You cannot. Before you even get through with a conversation, people will be done detoured you and told you what they would have did and what they wouldn't have did, and then
Facts.
take your idea and do it.
Facts.
Be
True.
careful. Be mindful who you share. It's two people I can dream out loud with, and that's because it's an exchange.
Yes.
It's an exchange. There's a vulnerability in that space. Be careful who you're vulnerable with about what you have coming up, about what space you're in, and about your experience.
Mm-hmm.
As a stylist designer, I do not kiss and tell. It is
Mm-hmm.
part of my job to give my client full disclosure and full loyalty,
Yes.
whatever the situation is. Whatever situation I'm in with the client, I do not run my mouth about it. You cannot be successful. You cannot sit at the king's table if you run off at the mouth.
Yeah. You got to be careful with stuff like that, honey, because we get excited about stuff that we doing, that's coming up, that we, whatever season we're in, we get excited.
Yeah.
Amazing things happen to God's people, just to let y'all know. And when you start speaking about it out loud before it's done, baby, that's when the culture vultures come out and they don't want to see it. So you definitely got to be mindful of who you share any and all experiences with.
Yes.
And that's just free game from the desk of us.
For real. Don't you think
Okay.
don't go behind your back if they know you're about to be in the show and go to the executive of that show and say why you have him in there? Why do you
Yes.
have her in there? You shouldn't work with him,
Yep.
you should work with her. People do that.
Yeah.
And they're not even on your level and can't even offer what you offer.
Uh-uh.
They just don't want to see you be more successful than what they think you should be.
Absolutely. The notoriety, honey. Folks feel like, if I ain't doing that, I don't want to see them doing that. And we come from the same place. Oh, honey, folks sucks they teeth a lot around here. So you got to start
Why
paying
him
attention to that
personally?
noise.
I've been around all this time and y'all ain't never used me or y'all ain't never did this. Well, first of all, I ain't from the same land you are. We don't have
Uh-huh.
the same outlook and outtake. I see things differently. I see things
Yeah.
with a fresh eye. So yeah.
Okay. So just a little bit of tidbit. I wanted you to touch on now back into the creative process. I
Yes.
feel like it's very important for you to travel, depending on what you're doing, especially with the stylist and designer in that particular industry. You need to get out of the box and go to different places and spaces and see what certain looks are like, what the people are doing, what the streets are doing. You cannot be in one level, one lane, and you're not traveling. Even as a podcast host, I don't physically travel, but baby, I'm everywhere. I network heavy in different states and things like that. Make sure that I'm pushing the line in different areas.
Absolutely.
And that's how you network and gain a lot of what you need. So make sure that you are not stuck in just your city,
You just
in
can't be
just, yeah, your
just
street.
you have to travel. You have to
Yeah,
have a world eye point of view. You
yeah,
have to have an open mind. Once your mind is expanded, it can never go back to being the same, right?
yeah,
So if you only stay in your city, then you'll only see what's in your city fashion wise.
mm,
Then you'll start to only style and design in what you always see. You
yeah,
get out of your I don't understand how people don't travel and get out of the city. And when I travel and get out of the city, I find me a good old space in the busiest part of town and I people watch.
yeah,
I get to learn lessons. I get to see how people are dressing. A city will teach you. The culture will teach
yeah,
you if you actually just sit and watch what people have on. Just going to work, just going shopping, just going out. When I go out to clubs, I'm actually looking at people and assessing. I will
yeah,
walk up to someone and be like, what do you have on? Where do you get that from? Or I like to
right,
put that together. Male or female, I have no problem. If you know me, you know I'll do
yeah,
it. Because I'm learning lessons,
yeah,
and different cities, different people, different age groups and categories, they just dress different. Now, there's
yeah,
nothing new under the sun, right? Everything is repeat. Everything has a season. But, except skinny jeans. Please don't bring it back.
right.
But
Because we
everything
don't
has,
want it.
I don't know, I can't fit them. I'm too thick. No. But,
Okay.
like, you know, travel. Even if you're just traveling, like from here, when I go to Omaha, a short trip, here to St. Louis, here to Chicago,
Uh-huh.
you're going to sit and learn so much. If you can't get out of your city, you can travel on your TV screen.
Yeah.
Watch. You have to watch. You have to study. In your traveling, study it because 9 times out of 10, unless you're living in like New York, Chicago, LA, maybe Atlanta, where there's a big old city, where you live is probably behind the times in fashion.
Uh-huh.
In the city is. So you want to be current. You want to make sure that when you're looking, and also when you're looking online and you're shopping, you gotta look and see what last season offered versus this season. It's
Uh-huh.
before that offered. And
That's true.
you know, and you learn where to pull things from.
Okay. Well, if the people ain't heard you, I'm sure they'll get the memo because you have to be diverse and you have to have a wide variety of um of ideas and things like that on how you need to move, should move, because you never know what somebody may want you to do for them as far as styling. And if you're not keen on that particular style, you don't know nothing about it, you ain't never seen it, they're probably gonna move on to the next. So you definitely want to make sure that you know what everybody is doing, whatever city,
That's right.
up, down, in the middle,
That's right.
elegant, luxury, this, that. There's so many
Streetwear,
different
all of the
levels and
above. Yeah.
layers.
Because that's how I learned
Yes.
how to style in streetwear. Streetwear was not my go-to. Okay, I
Yeah.
was always more luxury, more glamorous. You know, classic man. Um, I'm an '80s baby, so I watched a lot of like I Love Lucy's and
Yeah.
those type of dresses, and I watched a lot of figure skating growing up. You know, and a lot of ballroom dance. So that was my zhuzh.
Yeah.
But when I had clients that wanted to do streetwear, I was lost because I
Yeah. You
didn't
was
know
like, what is that? What are we doing?
okay, I was like, what? So
Yeah.
I had to learn, I had to go and sit in a culture where all they wore was streetwear. And
Yeah.
I had to study and ask questions like, why is everybody, what is a dunk? I had no clue. Like, what is that? What is a Jordan? What is a J? Like, I'm confused, you know? And
Yeah.
what is this versus that? And why the oversized? And what is a box cut? And the t-shirt vibe and all that.
And the wide leg, baby.
And
I'm trying
why,
my best to get into a wide leg,
yeah.
but
And I started asking questions. I also went into different neighborhoods where the culture was different to see
uh-huh.
how different cultures were dressing. What was their vibe or what was their version of streetwear versus luxury? And
Uh-huh.
then I was taking notes and I learned and I'm the best at it now. I get it. But get in there, ask questions, be able to introduce yourself. I'll tell you this. When you get in the room, you got to have something to talk about.
Uh-huh.
Show for yourself. So the best question you can ask as a stylist is, what do you think about this brand? Or what do you think about this culture? What do you think about streetwear versus luxury? Bring
Yeah.
conversations up. Compliment somebody. And then have fruitful conversation.
Yeah. Can't be dull now. So do you feel that fashion is black and white or full of color? Because you know a lot of people are scared to go outside the box and they play it safe all the time. So in your opinion, do you think that it's really just keeping it cute, keeping it mute, one level, or just do whatever patterns, monochromatic, whatever you have not normally done before, try it now type of thing?
I said put that shit on. Put it on. Put it on, right? Um, but fashion is all of those things. Fashion is black
Yeah.
and white. It can be boring because there's fashion for corporate, and corporate America's fashion is very basic, white,
Yeah.
blues, blacks, you know, just regular earth tones, but you still want to be fashion forward in that, right?
Yeah.
But then when you get outside of that and you're doing you, put it on. Don't
Yeah.
save it. Just don't save it. Put it on.
Yeah.
The special occasion is because I woke up today.
Oh,
You know, put
do
it
you
on.
hear me?
Yeah. Don't be fearful. Now, try some stuff that is not your typical.
Yeah.
Just try it and see. You know, if your whole closet is all black, all black, all black,
Ugh, boring.
if you're gonna wear all black, then the black has to have textures. You know, it's got to be texture. Everything has to have a little vibe to it. You're gonna wear, you know, put some texture to the black.
Yeah.
Well, put it on. Put things on that are oversized. but pair it with something that is form fitted. You know, if you got an oversized white shirt on, put on a corset, fit it. You know, a
Ooh.
tie. Also, I also encourage women to wear more men's wear because it
Mm.
fits different. I'll say this about a culture. The Caucasian men have always wore their girlfriend's jeans. Well,
Mm.
that's why they have boyfriend jeans. That
Who
came
knew that?
from
I never knew that.
women wearing their boyfriend's jeans or the boyfriend T-shirt. You know, I don't suggest that to everybody, but there is more of a unisex tone to how we dress now.
Yeah.
That is universal. You can wear it, I can wear it. All it matters how you dress it up. You know,
Hmm.
or dress it down. But put it on, put it on.
And stop overthinking. Stop playing with yourself because you never know what you might look good in. Because there's some stuff that I look at myself like, girl, real sideways. Is you getting ready to do that? But I'm gonna stop overthinking. I'm just gonna try it because you never know what you may look like or feel like.
Now, when you try it, you got to walk out the house in it now.
Okay.
Okay? Because you
Okay.
don't try it and put it on in the mirror and be like, Although I do go through a couple outfits before I walk out the house, but
Yeah.
try it and walk out the house with it. Your best market is wearing stuff to work, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody saw you, just your coworkers saw you. I always test to look out before I show it to the public. And
Yeah.
that's my looks out at work in my 9 to 5 corporate. If I know it worked there, if it was functional there, then all right, it's a hit. I can pop this off.
Okay. So as a stylist and a designer, are you always in your head like, do you ever turn it off? Like, say, for instance, for a movie star, an actor, actress, when they are prepping for a movie, whatever character they're in, it's kind of hard for them to disconnect. So when you get up and just have to take a quick run anywhere, do you still get into the habit of, well, damn, let me make sure this match. Let me put this together. Let me, like, do you still get into that mode and
I've done
just,
movies and work with artists and all type of things. I myself am always going to be well put together because
yeah,
there's an expectation from my families
yes,
that when they see me, I need to be put together.
at all times?
Where I live at, I did this one time. I said I'll never do it again. I got on the elevator just to go downstairs and check the mailbox, and I was not well put together. And
Ooh.
when the elevator door opened on the first floor, it was a crowd of people standing there, and I felt like, dang, I can never just run out the house anymore.
Yeah.
Even when I go to the gas station, they are looking at what I have on
Yeah.
because it's just expected. But in my head, I match and don't even think, just
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, it's actually
So it's
match.
just automatic.
Yeah, it's just automatic. But on a level when you are a stylist, we are our own calling card, right?
Yes.
So when people see Delo Styles, come on, like I can't just even if
Do
I go
any old
on
thing.
Friend
We got to
and
be
Fashion,
prepared.
I come on, got to, because
Yeah.
you never know, you never know. And when you are presenting as a public figure, you always want to put your best foot forward, even if you're just running to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Just putting on a pair of gray sweats. You always want to throw
Yeah.
something on it to make it pop.
And now, just because it's my personality and you just gonna catch tea every time. Now, the fact that you mentioned gray sweatpants, what I am gonna say is, fellas, make sure that you keep your coin purse put up because you know it's a lot of women that be on the prowl and they not really looking at the fashion. They just trying to figure it out. So for
Hey,
you, fellas, make sure you keep your yeah. So
free ball. Oh man.
okay. I just want to put that out there. So, as a fashion forward staple in the Kansas City area and other
Yes.
spaces and places, honey, what advice would you give anyone aspiring to be a designer that's probably looking after you, looking up to you, following you, um, pretty much researching you and studying you? What good advice would you give them?
Well, I'm going to tell you that you need to learn how to hand sew first.
Okay.
Um, you, Before I got on the sewing machine, I was in a program called Gallery 37 with Maggie Daly in Chicago, and I used to hand sew clothes for marionette puppets. So that is kind of where I learned good stitching. If you can hand sew, you can put anything together. Then I'm going to tell you that you need to get familiar and comfortable with the sewing machine. Doesn't mean that you have to sit behind a sewing machine all the time, because you can outsource things. But you have to be able to use a sewing machine. And practice makes perfect. Your imperfections are perfect. You know,
Okay.
the flaws in things actually sometimes make a garment look perfect. I'll also tell somebody aspiring or watching me, study. Study my work. Study who I study. Have conversations with people you look up to. Never feel like you're too small. Have a conversation with somebody and ask for their guidance. Just do it. Just put yourself out there and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. This is I want to be. When I grew up, it was a song that said, like Mike, if I could be like Mike.
Yeah.
You know, not that we wanted to be exactly like Michael Jordan, but
Yeah.
you aspire to be like and have and to do.
Yes.
And I will say this: you got to work. You have to work a real job to make your dreams come true.
Say that again.
You got to work to make your dreams come true. This isn't free. You're gonna get here, and it's gonna take time and years
Yes.
to build clientele and to where you are paid your worth value. And even then, you will maybe put out more. But keep you a real job.
Yes, because you got
That
to
way,
travel too. You never know who may want you to come through, and you might have to jump on a flight, child.
and how you gonna do that if you ain't got no money in the
I'm
bank?
telling you.
So work. I work to make my dreams come true. Okay? Have good work ethics and have discipline. Discipline, and consistency.
That's the biggest thing, consistency.
That's right. I don't care if things looking like they ain't moving and shaking. You find you two good people, whether they're your friends or family, and you work with them. And if you can't style nobody else, you find you two good muses and you work with them. And you study and you perfect your craft. Sharpen your tools. Keep your tools sharpened. Go to school, learn all you can learn. And all that get an understanding. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in one sentence, who is Delo Styles?
I am someone who has learned to walk in my own uniqueness.
That's said. That's said. So how can the people book you? Because I'm sure whoever sees this interview, they're gonna want to see what's going on. They're gonna follow you everywhere. He's everywhere. How can they book? How can they be down? Because they're gonna want to know.
Okay, for real. Listen. So you can go to Instagram, TikTok, all social media pages, and you can go to Delo Styles with a Z, Stylez. You can DM me. You can go to my Facebook page, D'Angelo Daniel. That's my real name. And you can DM me. You can go to email me at delostyles@gmail.com. You can call me directly at 816-291-6942. Business only.
Please and thank you.
And book me like that. If you see me on the street, you can book me. Please let me say this, because people say this to me all the time. When I get some money, when I can afford you, I'm gonna book you. You can't afford me right now. I am not out of the scope and out of the reach of the regular everyday man.
Yeah.
Let's start and build what you already have, because you probably have gems in your closet. But if you want me, book me, DM me, call me. I will come to you. I will fly to where you are. I will drive to where you are. I'll jump on a train and get
Okay.
you. Okay?
By any
I
means
can,
necessary, slayage.
period. Period.
Okay. So what's next for you? Because I know everybody's wanting to know.
Ooh, I have a lot of things going on this year. I have a wedding coming up in March. That is what's right next for me. Also, I am working on a fashion podcast coming out, mentored by my very own friend here, Teash. And then I plan on being in Martha's Vineyard this summer,
Woo, take you
doing
with
some
you,
work
child. Take
there.
you with you.
Period. And I am teaming up with some of my fashion friends in Chicago, and we are working on our fall fashion show. And I think that's
Yes.
good. So
I
those
love
are
it.
things. You can also be looking for me to put out my very first collection. That's all Delo Styles. Um, and yeah. So, other things you'll see when
Right, right, right. So listen, I want to tell you that I'm super proud of you. I am amazed by you. I love
you.
what you're doing. You can hand stitch. So like I said, steam, all that. And it's remarkable.
Thank
Your eye, your detail, the love that you have for fashion, just the art of it. You are very, very intelligent and you are just so on top of it, honey. And wow, when you get down there in 20, when you get down there to first row on the fashion show, the big situation, child, I want you to go out there and do it so nasty, like
And you already know I am.
whatever you got on. If the camera come past you, say my name, do me a peace sign, wear a shirt, little something, because I'm excited for you. That's
Um,
ridiculous.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate this opportunity. And in our friendship outside of this, thank you for being my friend. At 6 o'clock in the morning when we're having friendship and God idea conversation.
Because you never know. You
Thank
never know
you.
what somebody needs.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I encourage you to keep on going because you got it. This
Thank you.
you got it. You got it. I don't know how you
Thank
do what you
you.
do, and I'm learning and I'm taking notes because I've been on radio, but you have a skill set that is very unique. You keep us engaged. You don't leave any dead air, and the things that roll off your tongue, I'm like, Lord, please.
Child, I don't know.
I
I
need.
just wake up and piss excellence. I don't know. But realistically speaking, I don't know. I love the art of storytelling. I always have. It is in my blood since a really small girl. And this just what you see is what you get, baby. So
Here's what you
clock
get.
down on it.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Is there anything else that you want the people to know before we head out?
No, you know what I'm saying? You can do all things. There's nothing impossible that you cannot do if you put your mind to it, if you get in stillness, and if you study and do the work. Just
Mm-hmm.
do the work. Do the work. And I'm available. If you need me, call me. I'm here
Please.
for you. Okay, please. Kansas City has this big Met Gala coming up. So clients, please call me. Don't wait till the last minute, although you can. But if you really want to show out, and I mean show out,
Getting
call
them nasty, getting them in
uh,
line, giving them
getting
a little
uh,
inhaler for them to breathe, honey, and they don't even have asthma. That's what he's saying. The Met
area.
Gala is coming up in Kansas City, and you guys are going to want to get involved. And if you want to really do it up to the highest degree with tens across the board, you're going to have to get with Delo Styles. That's what
Oh,
he
come on over
said.
here. Come on over here. Come on
That's what
over
he
here.
said. Well,
Yeah.
listen, honey, it has been majorly beautiful and delicious today. Um, and again, everybody, make sure that you are following Delo Styles. Make sure that you are booking, and not looking. And we just want you to be sexalicious and make sure that your people, your significant other, or whoever's all over you, like a gang member, baby.
Period.
And so, with that said, if there is nothing else, I definitely want you guys to always keep enough room in your teacups for new tea because I always keep it, always got it. Stay tuned, keep it locked, follow me everywhere, YouTube. I'll love it. Become a member of the tea collection. Why not?
Ooh,
Um,
a little
and
tea.
you know what I'm saying? Because you are now a teacup or a cognac glass, whichever you prefer. But definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can check out my audio on all platforms, Spotify, everywhere. And you can check Delo Styles out everywhere too. So have a great day. Let's kick this week off coming up with nothing but heels on and step to the best beat.
Happy Sunday and all of joy, everybody.
All right. Have a good day, sugar. Bye.
Bye.